Hey there, super friends. Mrs. Coop here. We're going to do a small group activity all together, and I am sitting right now in our Fine Motor and Math Center, and this is what our center looks like. We got a big U table, and then across we have some math activities, some really great games that work our fine motor or our pinching, our fingers grabbing small things. That is our fine motor, but I'm also sitting back here today because we are going to talk about Super Friends. Even though we're talking about bugs this week, we're going to do an activity that has to do with our Super Friends. So I'm sitting back here by all your Super Friends on the wall. If you send in pictures, we're printing them off, laminating them, and getting your faces put up on the wall. This is our behavior chart that you can earn your way to fly up and up into the clouds and earn a hand stamp or a sticker by doing all the great things that you're doing when you're here in school. So something to look forward to when we get back together, okay? All right, we're going to do Measuring Super Friends, and it is found in your red bag, and it is found in the purple folder. So if you want to try and look and find that, you can pause me if that helps. I'll give you a second. See if you can go in your red learning bag and get the packet. There's a couple papers all together that look like this. And it goes all the way through until you get to that page, should be your last page. Okay? So that's the activity we're going to do together. You're going to need this, and you're going to need to grab your bag of crayons that are in there as well. Okay. So this is our cover page, and it says Measuring Super Friends. And do you know what this is called behind our Super Friends? It's got numbers on it going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one would be 12. Yeah, this is a ruler. It helps us measure different things. But we're going to do our measuring different, and this is what we would do if we were in class together. We are going to look at the squares lined up next to our Super Friends, like on this one, and we're going to count how many of these square units, how tall our friend is. When we talk about how tall someone is, we're talking about when you're standing up nice and tall and straight, how from your toes on the ground to your head against a wall, how tall are you? And we actually have a really cool way that we keep track of how tall we all are. So we can tell right here on this big wall up here, we measure you at the beginning of the year, we measure you at the end, and we keep track of how much we grow and how tall we are all together. Today we're going to just check out our cartoon Super Friends in our packet. So let's get to this guy first. This is our first Super Friend. He has a beautiful outfit that is blue with a shape on his chest right there. What shape is that? Yeah, it's a star. It's a beautiful yellow star. And he has the color of the week right here. His cape is orange. How perfect is that? So now if we were in school, this is what we would do. We would take our linking blocks, which are found in our fine motors, because my hands are pinching and pulling. I'm grabbing and pulling apart, and that's my fine motor. Using your hands to play, to put things together or take them apart. This is really good skills that help us with handwriting if you're working on handwriting at home. If you work on things that pinch, that grab, that pull apart, you'll start building up your hand muscle, and it'll help with handwriting. I know in the Coop house, my son is working on his fine motor skills to help improve his handwriting. So see if there are things at home, if there's some kind of tweezer where kids can work on grabbing and lifting up things by squeezing tweezers, or whether or not you have tiny toys or blocks that they can try and stack at home. While you're watching them, maybe they can count coins and move the coins. Those are small items that they'd have to pinch. So when we were in class, we would go all together over these and say, how tall is our Super Friend? And we would lay our blocks to stack. Let me see how I can do this so you can see it. I would lay them down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would put 1 cube in each square, which is our shape of the week. and one cube gets one square. And I would go all the way from his feet, start down there, and go all the way up until I got to the top of his head and stop. Now, if you actually look, if I remove these guys, I stopped at not the very top, but one below, because if I look, his head ends right at that square. So this is the very top one that he would be. So we would then count how many linking blocks we have all together. We'd count them out loud and say, see if you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He is 8 blocks tall. Now, because you don't have linking blocks at home, we're going to take a crayon out instead. So grab your crayon, and we're going to actually color in a square if he is that height. So he has shoes that are this height, and you're going to color in your square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so Mrs. Coop kind of rushed on doing these, but you will be able to take your time, color in from corner to corner. These are squares on the side. That means there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And I want to fill it in all the way till that square is the color of the crayon I chose. And I can see here that he is that tall. I stopped at the right part. I don't want to color above him because that's not how tall he is. So you can work on coloring each individual square as neatly as you can. Kind of working on a pinching motion of your crayon. See if you can go from a full grip to a pinching of your hand and coloring it in. Good job. So you can go through all the different shapes of our friends and see how tall they are and color them. Let's do another example together. I'm going to go a couple pages down. Here she is. I'm going to do our friend right here. Now, is she taller or shorter than our first friend? She is shorter. Shorter means, look at, she's not tall like he is. She'll have a smaller number colored in. Let's see if our guess is right. Let's color in how many she is too. Okay, I'm going to start by coloring by her feet first. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I need to color this one here? No, I'm going to stop right here because look at, she is that tall. That's where I'm going to want to stop. So she is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how we write the number 4. She is 4 blocks tall. Do you remember how tall this friend was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He was 8 blocks tall. Which friend is taller? Or which number is bigger? 8 or 4? 8. He is taller than her, but she is shorter than him. Great job. There are other ones that you can keep practicing and coloring. The only difference on a few is our friends here. These ones are a little bit trickier for the kids to sometimes do, but they're the same concepts. You're going from their toes to their hands. You're seeing how long they are. Their one friend here will be your best one to compare. If you do one of my friends that are really long and one of my friends who is shorter, okay, those will be good examples for you to do as well at home that you can keep trying. Okay, we got another one right there. The last page is just if you are, if your little one is able to write the numbers in. So we knew that this guy was 8 and she was 4. It's harder because it's in black and white, so it's okay if this page confuses you, just don't do it. But you have to look at like her hair, his hair. That's how I knew which one's which, okay? There's also a nice little counting at the top if you want to practice counting the numbers 0 to 10. So that's how you do this measuring activity. You start at the toes. You can just color in the blocks and just kind of talk about things this week: short, tall, long. Kind of see if there are things around your house that you can measure. If you have a ruler around your house or a measuring stick, or you can measure things with objects too. Do you have blocks that are all the same size that you can measure out how long something is? This is also really fun if you measure yourself or your siblings and see who is longer, who is shorter, and just sort of start talking about those numbers and talking about things that are the same and different. All right, I hope you had fun with this activity. Just kind of do them on your own and see if you can talk about those different math words. Bye, guys.